Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you all to another idyllic venue. As you can see how it's turning out into a wonderful, incredible sight. And for football lovers, there's a bonus. For Aizawl FC is all set to take on Gokulam Kerala against each other. And as we go forward, as we talk about these two teams, both the teams have gone through contrasting changes. That's the dressing room for Aizawl FC. The People's Club is what they call them in a very doting manner. Definitely big names in the lineup, and definitely the name of F. Lalrin Moia will be the one managing from the sidelines. He's someone who's been seeing the game for a long time. The name of Rinzuala, of course, will be doing a few rounds, particularly leading the scoring charts with 9 goals. Well, that's the team bus of Aizawl arriving to the venue. The home support is going to be very, very crucial. Ivan Maric, the giant Serbian, will certainly be the one to watch out for in their formidable and resolute defensive unit. They'll certainly watch out for their opposition. That's also a big name right now in Indian football. But with that being said, let's quickly hear what their team manager had to say.
Gokulam Kerala is one of the best team in the I-League this season so far. So whatever in football, as I always say, win, loss, draw can happen. It's a part of football. So we were prepared mentally and physically to get 3 points. So I hope we get 3 points today.
And on the other side, we have got the Malabarians all set to rock and roll as Gokulam Kerala FC continues to pursue a victory. Their last victory came on 13th November 2023. Can they turn the tables? Can they eventually find a win away from home? Alongside me in the commentary box is Bhashwar. A very good afternoon, Bhashwar.
Good afternoon. We'll talk ahead, but after that, we'll first listen to Domingo Cabrera, the head coach of Gokulam Kerala, and his takes on the game. We'll move on with further discussions right after that. Well, seems like we have to wait a second more to hear from the head coach. He'll be here in a moment or so.
Obviously, it's a very hard match. Aizawl is a good team. It's playing really well. We are very strong inside. We are doing a very good match in the last 3-4 matches. So that is very important. This kind of match. We get another 3 points. We have to recover our better play. Better play. I think now we are playing 4 matches in 11 days. It's too much, but I think we are playing a good moment for get 3 points. Okay.
Well, the two teams are ready for the battle, and one team from God's own country is up here in somewhat what can be called a heaven on earth, a beautiful place, Mizoram, the capital city. Aizawl is ready to host their home team. This Gokulam Kerala side just warming up for the game. We'll have a look at the lineups as well. A few changes and few interesting ones and important ones as well. Aizawl FC get set for the game too. A few absentees, not too many, but 1 or 2 there. But we'll all talk about that once we see the team sheets. Pretty much a 4-3-3 as it seems from what we have heard. But now let's have a look at the lineups. That's Aizawl FC with a 4-3-3. Nora Fernandez on goal, Jose O'Hara, Kim Kima, Ivan and Dan Mawia in the back line. Tikia, Sahil and Mafela, the midfield controllers with Piagtika, Mawia and Rinzuala front. It is the team manager, Lalvin Mawia, who will be leading the side today. From the sidelines, we'll have a look at the lineup of Gokulam Kerala as well. And the two teams are set for the clash. It was a tough outing for Gokulam in Kashmir. They had to travel miles and face the conditions challenging that high altitude of Kashmir. But today, they are in another challenge of the altitude, but a different one. Very different conditions from Kashmir. But then, nonetheless, always difficult when you travel to the hills. And Aizawl will make use of most of those opportunities.
Well, for Gokulam Kerala, they will certainly be making, in fact, the changes that have come in. That is going to be very, very crucial, particularly their captain. That's the starting 11 for Gokulam Kerala. Of course, Abhilash Paul will certainly be a big man to watch out for. Another name that's up front there, Alejandro Sanchez, the captain of the side, is back. He's also the leading goal scorer of the tournament and also of the side. In fact, he's the joint leading goal scorer. So we have a clash where, in fact, we'll get back to that. Quickly, let us introduce you to the match officials for the day. And it's going to be Kinsanfar Nongam, the referee. The two assistant referees are Manoj Kumar Sao and Shomnath Banerjee. And certainly fourth official is Don Moidor. That's the standings at the moment. Marban Sporting is currently running away with that top position, wherein Srinidhi Deccan is in the second spot with 20 points. But then again, with that being said, Aizawl FC will also be sniffing out their chances, for if they can secure a victory here, they would certainly be eyeing a position, residence in the top 3 spots. The two captains, Kim Kima, experienced Kim Kima, will certainly look to spearhead his side, wherein Alejandro Sanchez will like to keep his scoring run alive.
Well, indeed, he missed out against Real Kashmir, but now he will be up with more motivation to find some goals. 9 goals already in 9 games. Another man to watch for is wearing the reds of Aizawl. As you mentioned a while ago, Lalvin Suwala, Lalpiak Nia. 9 goals for him as well. An Indian goal scorer just up in the top charts of goal scoring. And the last time we saw that was Vidyasagar Singh a few seasons ago. And that was another team from Northeast, Trau FC. And a long year ago, we saw another Indian player getting that feat, if you remember whom. But apart from that, there hasn't been too many Indian scorers who have won the Golden Boot in I-League.
Well, it's certainly, in the first and foremost, we know that I-League has got some incredible talents gracing the tournament. So obviously, with that being said, when some Indian player rises, transcends himself beyond the overseas talent, I think it's incredible to watch. So obviously people will be rooting for the likes of Amoya as well, because he's been brilliant. But then it's Rinzuala who's found the strikes. Attacking on your frame from the left to the right, who will be getting us underway here is the People's Club, Aizawl FC, the home side as well. And attacking on your frame from the right to the left will start by chasing the ball at the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium is Gokulam Kerala. So in a contest, in a pulsating battle of 90 minutes, it is going to be exciting to watch which team has the last laugh as we wait for both the teams to get into action.
Well, indeed. And apart from that, it is a battle of the two top scorers of the league at the moment. They're on your screen, both almost in the same line standing, not just in the goal scoring charts, but even literally on the pitch right now. The strikers of these teams are looking to take them towards the title hunt. Aizawl FC in red, attacking from left, kickstart proceedings.
Well, first and foremost, this is a beautiful venue for any occasion. I mean, football fans, they are getting a treat for their eyes. It's not just the natural scenes here, but at the same time, both the teams, they have played a pretty fiery brand of football until now. Gokulam Kerala, they started the tournament on a high. Unfortunately, after that very pulsating start, they have somehow lost steam, and their coach Domingo Cabrera, he's been experimenting a bit too much. That has somehow kept the team at bay. Like in Kashmir, playing against Real Kashmir, we saw quite a few intriguing changes. Boba Aminu coming on later in the game, and ever since his introduction, the entire team came back to life. That was somewhat lagging and caught napping throughout the fixture. But at the same time, Aizawl FC, who just has got one foreigner in their ranks, and that's the giant Serbian Ivan Maric, has done a pretty fair job keeping the locals in the side.
Well, indeed, Gokulam just knocking the door and learning from those mistakes, or maybe, not sure if we can call it exactly mistakes, but from the result, it can be somewhat called a mistake. The changes, Domingo Cabrera has not taken any risks today. His starman Alex Sanchez is on the pitch, so is Nili Perdomo, Edu Betia, and in the back line Boba Aminu. And one change which was somewhat necessary and not exactly in terms of quality. I'll not be that sure the amount of assurance the coach can give you, but in terms of the performance in the previous game, Devansh on goal had to be replaced, and in comes Avilash Paul. But it is a test against an Aizawl side who has been running rapid. Oh, that's a giveaway, and Nofal was trying to shoot with angle closed down quickly.
Well, Abhilash Paul, of course, he should have been, or I personally believe he could have very well been the first preference in a few games as well, because Devansh Dabas, he's already taken a booking, he's already taken a red card in the tournament in this edition, and at the same time, the last few goals, it's not just the last match, but the last few goals that he's conceded, I think that is seriously a sign of bother for Domingo Cabrera, because Gokulam Kerala, their defense has been pretty vulnerable, and it's somewhat painful to see a team that has got such wonderful attacking unit. When your defense is not that strong, when you have a soft belly, it's expected that you may end up leaking goals, and that is exactly the case of Gokulam Kerala. That could have been a wonderful run. The possession still remains alive for Gokulam Kerala as they try to find an opening from the left. The question is, can they find a shot on target? They do take a shot, but Abhilash Paul, he was certainly alive and kicking. Even though the shot wasn't particularly on target, it was missing its mark by whiskers. But nonetheless, the first shot would definitely be registered.
Well, indeed, we'll just give some confidence, not just to Gokulam, but the keeper as well. Nora Fernandez just getting a touch of the ball just makes keepers feel more comfortable when they feel the ball. Oh, that's another giveaway almost, but recovered by Joshua Liana Mafela on the ball right now. The problem lies for Aizawl in these situations. Look at that again, just lacking a bit of communication. But as I was saying, they're generally known as a side who are strong at home. But this season, surprisingly, as we were discussing just before the match, Rohit, Aizawl have done extremely well away from home. But then they have one surprising defeat against Delhi FC, a massive one that came at this very venue at home, which is always difficult. And they brought in a surprise the previous day against Shillong Luchong. Their first defeat came in the hands of Aizawl FC. And that very contradictory stats to really predict which team is the better at the moment in the I-League. And that is what makes it more interesting for the viewers. Dan Maria loses out possession, and Gokulam start with a throw-in.
Here's a chance, this can be an opportunity. It is Alejandro Sanchez who cuts back in sharply. There's the shot, wonderfully blocked. The chance still remains alive. And Aizawl barely clawing their way out of this immediate jeopardy. That's what the Malabarians are capable of. They have this sudden bursts of acceleration that Aizawl will certainly have to be aware of. If not, they can be punished, because the kind of quality that Gokulam Kerala has in their side, particularly through the likes of Nili Perdomo, Alejandro Sanchez, definitely Edu Bedia as well, all of them are very unforgiving footballers when it comes to chances. So this is something where the People's Club will certainly need to have a look, and it looks like Shrikuttan has gone down and he's in some severe agony. I think there was a bit of collision that must have happened that took that knock in the gut, is it? In fact, he's clutching onto his hamstring there.
We'll have to wait to see another glimpse of it. But what an attack that from Gokulam Kerala. Alex Sanchez straight away in action as soon as he's back in the lineup. Just beats the defender with so much ease and then finds a pass. Nili Patomo did well. That was a good shot, to be honest. But on the line, blocked away by probably Kim Kima, not sure. But Srikutan is still down. And hopefully we'll be able to carry on. A very important player for Gokulam Kerala. Not much talked about, not much hyped. But Srikutan, no fall. Another one of them on the bench, Shijin. These three have been really the firepower of Gokulam, especially rooting on local talents. And Shahif with the throw-in. On with the game for the time being, for a few seconds at least. 10 men on the pitch for Gokulam. And they're still waiting for the referee's signals, and they'll sportingly give it back to Aizawl.
All the way back to Nora Fernandez. Nora Fernandez has also been pretty impressive in the last few games. And the way he's been, again, we all know that at times he can have a bit of shaky starts, but then let's say once the first 10 to 15 minutes have elapsed, he gets back to his element, and he's someone who's always on his toes, so something that keeps him prepared for all the battles that's coming his way. Back with Aizawl once again as they steer it forward. Now for the first time can Aizawl carve an attack of their own, and it looks like the visitors, they are kind of standing strong and they are dominating the midfield at the moment. Edobedia with his second touch of the day. It goes all the way to Nili Perdomo, but Nili Perdomo losing himself in the wilderness as Aizawl tries to capture the ball, capture the possession and go forward, but not for long. The game's slightly scrappy right now, isn't it, Bashwar?
Well, it is somewhat because Gokulam have at least in the first 8 minutes look like they've learned from their mistakes. They're known as a defensively strong side, which they haven't been this season. But now they are trying to do so. Another loss of possession from Piaktika. We generally are habituated seeing Tharpuya on that right-hand side, who is missing from the team today. There may be a bit of injury concerns, maybe suspension. We'll confirm it to you as soon as we have further information on it, but he'll be a miss. That was a good bit of trick, though, attempted by Piaktika. Just couldn't execute it well. Aizawl just trying a bit too much. But that addition of Boba Amino in the back line, just every time without fail, makes Gokulam look more solid defensively. And that is what has been the strategy, along with Edubedia today, being able to sit more deep because they have Nili Perdomo to support attacker. In the previous game, unlike where there was Komron Tusunova alone trying things up front, and Edubedia wanted to support a shot there. Well, he wants a corner, far away from anything.
The idea was kind of quizzical to me. You're taking a side volley, almost somewhat of a side volley from that big of a range. And I don't really think he was in the position in order to control that side volley. The kind of power that you'd really like to conjure behind a shot. I think that itself was certainly missing. Here's a chance for Aizawl though, but again, they are not able to control things right now. Gokulam Kerala, they are having a lion's share of dominion out at the center. And I think that is what kind of differentiates them. The day that they decide that they will hold sway, the way they dictate the midfield, that is absolutely brilliant. But then there are games where they completely switch off. And I think this polarizing approach from the Malabarians has cost them dearly so far. All the way to Boba Amino now. Boba Amino looking for a bit of help. Going forward, Edobedia, is it? He's dropped down quite deeply. Here's a chance, a bit of push and shove. And eventually it's going to be a throw-in here in favor of the home side.
Well, probably a handball decision there. And as you said about the play styles and the way they're playing, I think this has been a strategy for Aizawl too this season. Even in the previous game, if you remember, against Lechong, they were on the side having majority of possession. But at times they went on attack and they looked so lethal, especially when they have that kind of goal scoring ability up front from all the three up front. Not just Lalrin Zuala, even Mavia. He has scored a fabulous free kick a while ago. We all saw that getting viral on social media, of course. And there's Erubitia. That is the role he more likes to play and is more comfortable playing. And that is why he's been allowed. And miscommunication between Srikuttan and Alex Sanchez. Throw in for Aizawl. Still trying to get a grip of the game. 10 minutes in. It's all square here.
Yeah, the kind of fluidity that we have seen from both the sides, I think that is slightly on the lower side. That is again poorly done there. Could have been a much better pass. There wasn't any real pressure on the shoulders of the player there. He just wanted to hurry and rush and eventually conceded possession. And it looks like Aizawl, that's a decent bit of work out in that midfield. Wonderfully twisted and turned around there. It looked like it was Sheikh Sahil. He's been a part of quite a few renowned clubs. That's another long ball sent downtown. For the first time in the game, Abhilash Paul will wrap his gloves around the ball as Gokulam Kerala once again starts all the way from the back, trying to bring in the flair that they are usually known for. Bhashwar, a quick question. I think we'll get back to that. That's a lovely ball. Alejandro Sanchez, he's received the ball looking for a bit of help. Help does arrive onto that left flank, drags it slightly inside and a bit of overtouch there. Srikuttan could have done better there, but eventually concedes a goal kick.
Well, indeed, just tried to overdo a bit there. Just taking it outside for the first time was okay, and then just outran himself. That's the problem sometimes. You just need to keep things simple when needed. It's not always that you want to bring out those extraordinary skills. But this time some good work from Srikuttan on the press. And that's a giveaway. Rishad, he was thinking of a shot, but quickly closed down again. And now from the right, there's an overlapping run in support. And Gokulam, they're looking for the crosser, beats two defenders, felt a nudge, but he anyway lost control of the ball. That is why probably the free kick wasn't given.
Yeah, I think very nicely pointed out, but Gokulam Kerala, they keep on coming all the way from the right. Cross attempted, exceptional block there by the Aizawl defender. Kept his eyes on the ball. It was Laldon Mawia who went for that full stretch dive there. And eventually the ball went on to clatter against his shin bone and get out of play. It's a throw in here for Gokulam Kerala as they come from the right, looking around for a bit of opening in order to try and send the cross. Here comes the cross opportunity, but that's slightly miscued. Danger's not over though. Gokulam Kerala keeps on knocking on the doors, and now they've given it away. In fact, to be precise, Aizawl has snatched it away. And now they go forward, knocking on the doors.
That's Sahil. Suwala. They were looking for the break, but just fumbled up on possession. And Mafela to Joe. And Joe has been in the ISL as well with Bengaluru FC. Massive experience when you have already played a few games out there. Kimkima with the forward pass. Not really executed well. The measurement on those passes have been missing from Aizawl today, and that is why they're not being able to find those attacks. They need to string at least 4 or 5 passes together, but that's well done by Sheikh Sahil. And now Mafela. And these two in the midfield have so much quality on the ball. Sheikh Sahil again. Oh, just needed that pass back from Nidin. Otherwise, Aizawl went through. Now, how composed that from Kim Kima.
Well, I think that is the true ethos of Kim Kima. He's a very experienced name. That's another long ball, nicely brought down, and it looks like there was a bit of handball involved, is it? Exactly, well, the free kick has gone the other way. And yes, talking about Kim Kima, I think he's playing football for a while now. And the kind of expertise that he brings to the platter, the kind of leadership, the kind of thinking that Kim Kima is blessed with, I think that makes a lot of difference. Now, that is one of the reasons why Aizawl has wanted them as their leader. Another long ball sent downtown. Alejandro Sanchez was on the lookout for that. But before he could have converged upon the ball, it went straight into the gloves of Nora Fernandez, who would keep on taking it all day long. As Aizawl FC now tries to knock forward. That's another lovely ball on towards the far right. Trying to find an opening there. Lalbiaktika looking around for a bit of crossing space. Excellent footwork. A bit of fancy football as well, and eventually concedes possession.
Fancy, but not useful in this occasion. And that is what Aizawl need more, and a good touch by the centre-back, but a risk cheeky pass, and that's a giveaway. And now Aizawl will come. Here's Brinzuala with the turn, and just couldn't lay it out wide. That is what he was looking for. Kim Kima. Aizawl are gradually growing in the game. And now Sheikh Sahil, you mentioned about Sheikh Sahil being having played rather in various clubs across the country. He's been with Mohun Bagan, and if I'm not mistaken, won the I-League with Mohun Bagan as well that season. Even Jose Babetia was there in that squad, and that's one back by Gokulam. So there's even though he's young, 23 years old, a good amount of experience in his shoulders, and of course quality. Asking too much from Nidin with that pass.
I think a major challenge that Gokulam Kerala today is facing, despite the fact that they have certainly been the dominating side of the two, I think those passes, those crucial final passes that can create an opening, those final passes have been pretty shaky, have been pretty misdirected. A lot of missed passes have kind of reigned supreme in their gameplay, and if something of a fallacy as criminal as missed passes is kind of predominant in your motives, I don't think it is going to be an easy advancement. And Aizawl now knocking on the doors from the left. Here comes the cross opportunity, and Abhilash Paul summoned into action as he uses his towering height to tip that over. Opening corner of the afternoon graces Aizawl's way.
That is the quality Abhilash Paul has. It was a dangerous cross, just creeping in at the last moment. Had his eyes on, had to tip it over at the cost of a corner, but saves danger for now. It'll be a test for Abhilash, because Aizawl will not leave any chances they have. Now Mafela combining with a Mavia. A first time cross in, and not sure if he connected well. Renzuala was interested in the steal. The first corner of the game in favor of Aizawl FC. And they continue attacking. And Mavia has stayed on side, I'm sure. And now he has some space to measure a cross in with the step overs. Drives in and finds a shot as well, and that's spilled and collected somehow. The initial save was good, but it was difficult with two red shirts arriving, and he had to collect it on the second attempt.
Well, you were talking about Abhilash Paul a few moments ago, and certainly that save, I think more than the first save, the one that he snatched the ball in the second, that was more important. And it looks like Salam Ranjan Singh, another experienced name, has somewhat taken a blow there. Once again, we'll try and show you. That was a lovely bit of work, to be honest, but I think he made it difficult for himself because he went a bit too acute. So maybe if he could have just laid it off into the stride of the player, that would have been a better option. But then he wanted to go for shot himself. When you're making the angle difficult on yourself and then trying to unload one of those rangers, it is slightly tricky.
Indeed, and you were saying about Abhilash Paul. He has been with Aizawl a few years ago. So the former Aizawl man trying to now hold Aizawl FC at this very venue, which is pretty familiar. I still remember a few years ago when he held East Bengal here, probably a 2-2 scoreline, not exactly sure about that, but plenty of shots and plenty of attacks all stopped by this one man, Abhilash Paul. But today he's wearing a different color. He's wearing the away colors of Gokulam, who come in attack here. Alex Sanchez couldn't get a touch. It was Ivan Maric clearing it out. But they have the ball back again from the back. Another cross in. A good defensive shape and focus from Aizawl. And then Zuala will try to win it back. A good work there in midfield from Rishad.
Here's another lovely ball, and it looks like Alejandro Sanchez, he's somehow creating openings out of thin air altogether. But then with all of that being said, if that finishing touch, the coup de grace that we usually expect from Alejandro Sanchez, that's not coming, then questions can arise. Here's another lovely ball onto the right, a bit of step overs there, but very well defended by Aizawl. And you were talking about maintaining the defensive shape. They are doing a phenomenal job. It's a corner here for the Malabarians, and it looks like it's going to be, in fact, we'll have to wait to see who's the one who will be whipping that in. But a decent bit of work coming in from Nufal, another young sensation who's been doing pretty decent in terms of Gokulam Kerala's attacking unit.
But there seems to be some problems with Gokulam. It's Srikuttan who has gone down again for the second or third time. Even if you look at no fall, the way he's walking, a bit of issues. He went down a while ago as well. So the two wingers just struggling a bit here. Tough fixtures for them in just a few days of time. There's so many tough clashes, it's difficult. And of course, especially makes it more difficult when the weather conditions are so much different. In Kerala, they were around 30 degrees centigrade in the heat at this time of the year. Then they went to Kashmir, freezing cold with 2 degrees. And now here in Aizawl, it's around maybe 13, 14 or 10 at this time of the day. Very, very varying conditions. It's difficult for the players, and the physical conditions need to be taken care of. The physios and medical staff are there for that reason. But right now, Edubetia, with his favorite left, will swing in a delicious ball, I'm sure, to trouble the Aizawl defense.
Srikuttan suddenly have had a very happening half so far. He's gone for his shots, he's tried to go forward with the crosses. Unfortunately, this time though, he had an injury which kind of took them by surprise. It looks like it's a change that has happened, that a Shijin has come in. Here comes the corner from Edubedia, a chance, but Nora Fernandez, he's tall, he's burly, and he puts his stature to very good use. Now the question is, now with Srikuttan out of the game, how will Shijin adapt to the conditions? A few moments ago, you were talking about how Gokulam Kerala has been traveling almost in very polarizing circumstances, where in Kashmir it was freezing cold. In Aizawl, it's also pretty much on the chilling side, not exactly as cold as Kashmir was. But then again, with that being said, I think the magic word here is adaptability, is flexibility. Because when you sign up for a league like this, for a top tier league like this, I think you knowingly sign up that you will have to brave all those hostile circumstances, where at times you will find the opposition crowd to be going entirely against you, where the conditions will be making you go crazy. With all of that coming into play, that is what a dream is composed of, I think. No matter the odds, you still rise, isn't it?
Well, it is another word I would add with the adaptable is fitness, which is very, very important in these conditions. That is one change which has come in modern day football in India as well, gradually, and all started, or not, if not started, with the face of it being the captain, leader, legend Sunil Chetri. But there's a free kick. It's pretty far out, but we have seen Mavia having that flair and belief and courage to the unthinkable. Sheikh Shahil just moving away from it. They have a Biaktika, but it is Amavia. A pretty long lineup. Can he make it? This is too far, but nothing is impossible. Amavia with the shot. Well, it was far away. Just a rise in expectations with what he has delivered in the past.
Well, maybe you can think that I am crazy, but then again, I believe the idea from Amoya to take the free kick from that range, a direct one, was a good one. The reason being, now the wall was pretty far away from him, so he had a bit of space going forward. All he needed to take care of was he was placing it away from the goalkeeper, and he was trying to infuse a bit of dip there on the ball so that it could have troubled the goalkeeper. But then again, with that being said, both the factors are pretty difficult to kind of fuse together with the ball, and it's not really easy. But nonetheless, Amoya has been very, very impressive in the ongoing season, young rising sensation, and I think Indian football certainly is looking towards at a very bright future.
Indeed. Both Amovia and the one missing today on the pitch, Tharpuya, both of them have been so lively. Aizawl have been producing wingers year after year. If you remember the likes of Lalton Mavia, Walte, and after that in came Rochar Zela, who is with Northeast United right now, and even Isak Ralte, who is with Orisha FC right now in the ISL, and that's a handball and a free kick for Gokulam Kerala. So producing wingers, and not just wingers, talent in all. You see Lalchanima Silo, taken from the Indian Arrows, but he's a Mizo local lad. He's entered the ISL this season. Not got too much of a game time with Hyderabad FC, and then there's more of them just scattered everywhere in all the clubs. The likes of Laljan Puya, we've seen Chilova years ago. And now from the left come Gokulam. That's a good looking cross. Just not the height he was looking for. And Boba Aminu, look where he's standing. He just loves to go in the box and take his chance, especially when there's a set piece. And he'll stay up, waiting for another cross, which is away from him. But Gokulam are very interested. Almost a steal. Nilipadomo was there. Aizawl have it back.
I think for Gokulam, they have the best set of foreigners in this I-League. I mean, again, that's kind of not exactly the best, but one of the best, considering the likes of Alejandro Sanchez, considering the likes of Nili Perdomo for sure. They also have Boba Aminu, who's a very strong, robust figure in the defense. So they come forward to this tournament with a pretty decent brand of foreign players. And another name that I cannot afford to miss, the Mercurial Komron Tursunov, hailing all the way from Tajikistan. He's won an I-League before, and that was the last I-League that Mohun Bagan was a part of before they signed up for the ISL. And now this is going to be a long race here for, it looked like it was Alejandro Sanchez or Nili Perdomo in fact, and eventually was denied. Another important point, since you were talking about how the teams have been adapting and how the fitness have played a crucial role in making these teams into a separate unit. Now, to be honest here, Bhashwar, I will certainly concur with you. I mean, there's no questions about that. Fitness plays a key role, but at the same time, I think another unsung hero in the lineup for any team right now is are the physios. I mean, maintaining the players, not letting bigger injuries happen unless it's on the pitch. I think it goes a long, long way. It's another free kick here for Aizawl FC, another chance for them to try and find an opening. This time it was drilled flatter, much easy for Gokulam Kerala to try and take the ball away.
Amavia gets it from Sahil. The burst of pace beats two defenders, and a solid challenge comes in. Excellent defending that, probably Rishad on that occasion. But Aizawl will win it back. Only for a moment they gave it to Gokulam. And now Danmavia. Here's a defensive one. Danmavia. And now Kim Kima. Always interested. A clever flick attempted. And now Sahil. He has options left and right. And the best of it, Mavia on the ball. Every time he is on it, he tries to create danger. And on this occasion, failed to do so. Joe Zohera. That's great work, just making sure he's in the way, in between the ball and the man. Proper basics from Joe Zohera.
And if we look at the stats, if we look at the recent stats as well, once again we'll show you the foul there that happened. Kind of a constant push from the back coming in from Nufal. Another very towering defender. In fact, another very towering midfielder, not defender, sorry for that. And yes, getting back to, like, if we look at the stats, the conditions, recent form, I think for both these sides, it's kind of a potpourri of things, because it's very haphazard, it's gone left to right, north and south, whatever you want to say. But one particular similarity between these sides is their playing style. Both the teams uses the wing extremely well, and both the teams use or are a believer or are an advocate of a very physical brand of football. Now, when I say physical, it's not by causing fouls. Here's another free kick sent into the mix, and it looks like it will elude everyone, even the monstrous frame of Boba Aminu. As it goes out of play, it's going to be a goal kick in favor of Gokulam Kerala. And getting back to what we were talking about as well, like, I think one of the common traits of both these sides, it's the physical style of football. I mean, it's not really fouling each other, but kind of, instead of being that artistic, means the craftsmanship that we have usually seen in the I-League, both these teams believe in imposing their physiques upon each other, thereby kind of creating a lot of blocks, a lot of snatches out in the midfield. So it isn't exactly the aesthetic splendor that you are expecting, but it's more of a kind of a brawling slugfest that takes the shape, isn't it, Bhashwar?
Well, proper strength and conditioning in short, and they've done that training well. And both these teams absolutely rightly spotted. Aizawl not sure in the past, but right now this season they look to play that way. And Gokulam, they're always that same strong and steady side, tough to beat. This season they've leaked plenty. Amavia, there's one of such strong challenges. Failed the challenge but still finds a pass. Boba Aminu was there to rescue. Aizawl growing in the game here. Mafela. Venezuela hasn't got too much of supply up front. Sheikh Sahil, 65% possession for Aizawl FC, climbed back substantially, 35 for Gokulam, and now they look like a side more in control. Aizawl, half an hour played here, and Aizawl in attack. Oh, the touch not quite well done there from Shahif, and now Aizawl come inside the box, a good shot, and the opening goal just amongst the crowd. No one spotted the run. It's 1-0, and the home side will celebrate, and why not? They worked hard for it, Rohit.
Absolutely, and I think this goal is more of an example of using your footballing acumen to perfection. A sensational delivery coming in all the way from the right from Lalwin Fella, and then an excellent placement. There was no power involved, it was all about grace and placement. Look at how picture perfect delivery and wonderfully steered into the back of the net by Lalbiak Dika once again. And this attacking unit of Aizawl, they know the goal extremely well. Abhilash Paul, he was a mere spectator. Could have put in a dive there, but once again, how successful would that have been? That was certainly a question mark.
Well, he had no clue from where the man and where the shot came from. It was out of nowhere. Well, nowhere in terms of the attacker just emerging in the box from behind. And if you look at that one again in the replays and highlights from Biaktika, very, very intelligent. Just let Mafela make the run down the flanks, and he went central, waited at the edge of the box for a second, and made the run for the cross. And what a cute little finish in that bottom corner. The defenders were ball watching. The goalkeeper had no chance whatsoever, even though it was in touching range from him. But in those attacks, perfect goal. A picture perfect one.
I think in case of that goal, one particular thing about Aizawl was that they were aware of the situation. They were aware that the attack is happening, and all the options that they had inside the box, they were pretty much switched on. On the contrary though, Gokulam Kerala, their defense was caught napping, because that goal, again, it was a very intelligent finish. It wasn't one of those pile drivers that we usually witness, or it one of those very fast-paced attack. It was just quickly latch onto the ball and hit. I mean, like, it was kind of a grab and run job that was done by Aizawl FC, and that is exactly what they did. One touch football, touches from the center, then to the right wing, then back in the box, and then very neatly, very timely placed at the far post, where Abhilash Paul was just standing, looking, admiring, and at the same time despairing the fact that the ball flipped into the back of the net.
And that is the beauty of the way these teams play. Another excellent passer. The flag is up. I'm really not sure if he was offside. We'll have a look at that again. But as I was saying, when they get going with those one-touch passes and controls, it just looks so soothing to the eye. Especially Aizawl and Shillong Lechong, somewhat similar when they are on the ball. It's a different strategy, of course, from both the teams. Shillong Lechong, meanwhile, they're trading 2-1 against Royal Kashmir in Kashmir. And here come Aizawl again, Sheikh Sahil in possession. And in the last 5 matches, if we look at the recent history of these two teams, or rather their performance in the last 5 matches in the league, Aizawl haven't lost a single match in the last 5 games, while Gokulam, they haven't won a match.
It's pretty surprising. I was even talking about this up front. Like a team like Gokulam Kerala, who started the league on such a feisty note, somehow or the other they have just lost their momentum completely, and the kind of chemistry that Gokulam Kerala has banked upon, they need someone to step up right now. Even for Alejandro Sanchez, he may have scored the goals, but then again, with a leaky defense like that they have right now for Gokulam Kerala, just a few moments ago, like the way they were caught napping, I think that is seriously alarming. And unless they are fixing this concern, unless they are able to bolster their defensive reinforcements, it can be a very bleak winter for Gokulam Kerala. I think the start, they say that the dawn shows the day, but in a marathon league like this, ideally it's very rarely that dawn shows the day. It's about which team can hold on to the momentum and be consistent about this. This can be a chance, but a very emaciated shot came in from the feet of Boba Aminu, as the ball trickled straight into the hands of Nora Fernandez.
just a glimpse of that goal he scored against Namdari a few matches ago. No fall, just cutting in and trying to shoot at that far post, but the venom was taken off by those deflections. That's a poor kick, straight away giving possession back to Gokulam. I was about to say if it would be a tale of two keepers because Nora Fernandez held Shillong strongly, and there's the confirmation of that change which happened earlier. Srikutan injured, forced change. Shijin T was on, and he was asking how it would play out. We'll talk about it after this attack. Here come Aizawl again from the left. Mafela is everywhere on the pitch. This time it is Rinzuala though. Back to Sheikh Sahil. Controls the midfield so well. Sheikh Sahil and Mafela, along with that one name we haven't talked about, silently doing the job there. Tikea with the number 8 on his back there. Edubadia wins it back and controls things for Gokulam Kerala. But as I was saying about Shijin, he has moved to the right hand side since coming on, and Nofal, who was on the right, has come to the left. So very like for like changes, these three. They can replace one another. No foul given. Alex Sanchez will continue the run. Kim Kima with his experience but has lost the ball. Alex Sanchez on goal. That is top-notch defending from Joe Sohera to steal it off the feet of Alex Sanchez.
Also a bit of giveaway from Alex Sanchez because he was expecting to go for glory all by himself. He had an option approaching in the box in the form of the incoming Shijin. He could have squared him off because he had a clear view of the goal. But then again, it's understandable. It was within Alex Sanchez's range. And now it's time for a corner. It's floated into the mix, a very flatter corner. Could have done better than that. And now the ball stays well with Gokulam Kerala. Ships it further towards the right and steered clear of danger by Aizawl FC. It's going to be a throw-in that Gokulam wants to take very quickly in order to try and strangulate, in order to try and asphyxiate Aizawl FC. Let's see if Gokulam Kerala can turn things around, maybe and just maybe one change that will be going on louder in the minds of Domingo Cabrera. That is Komron Tusunov, who's out there. That's another long ball created, but Abhilash Paul, he is certainly equipped. I think there's a bit of a peel going on. It looks like the referee has finally paid heed to that. Edu Bedia once again with a bit of animation.
Well, the referee was just waiting for Rinzuala to get a touch and then raise the flag, because that is the rule basically. If he's involved in play, he was involved indirectly, and that is why Edubadia was appealing for the flag to go up, which came late. And here's Edubadia with finding a long ball towards Alex Sanchez. The Aizawl defense, they had a clean sheet against a somewhat mighty Shillong, if I can say that, the way they had been performing till a match ago, which is very difficult. And not just Nora Fernandez, it was these set of defenders, John Mawia and Ivan Maric, Kim Kima, Joe Zohera. They have been brilliant. Only one change in today's lineup is Tharpuya. Apart from that, they have gone with a similar, very similar 11. Aizawl FC and Nora Fernandez will play it long. Well, one good news for the Gokulam fans, and of course an information for the Aizawl fans. On the overall head-to-head record, Aizawl have got the better of, well, we'll talk about that again once the attack is done, but it is done quick enough so we can continue the discussion. And in the overall head-to-head record, Aizawl have got the better of Gokulam 5 times out of 9, 1 draw and 3 wins for Gokulam. But the problem is somewhere else, which again, we'll have to wait for this attack to get over. Good cross, trying to grind it in, but goes a bit far. Nilipadomo squares the ball in. Alex Sanchez still manages a shot, and calmly turned by Joe Zohera, but stolen back here. He's felt a nudge. Well, appeals will go up, but Nilipadomo has stayed down for the moment. And as I was saying, the problem, well, I'm taking a bit long road, but in the last 3 meetings, it has all been Gokulam. Those 3 wins for Gokulam against Aizawl has come in their last 3 meetings. And we'll have a look at that again. Was there a penalty?
Well, I don't think, I mean, it was a 50-50 chance. Both of them went for the ball. So I think that's a very clean snatch. Had Nili Podomo been in firm control of the ball, had he taken the ball away, then probably that could have been a spot kick. But I think both the players, they were in contention for the ball. It was a 50-50 chance. And you cannot expect your defender to let go of your counterpart inside the box, and particularly someone of Nili's stature, because we are all aware of the fact players like Nili Perdomo, players like Alejandro Sanchez, Komran Tusunov, when he comes out, if he does in fact, I think they are players, you give them one sniff of the goal inside the box and the next thing you would know is it's gonna be kingdom come for you. So no point doing that. It's worth taking the risk. Edubedia certainly, now that is another talking point that I'd like to highlight. Now we are all aware of the fact Edubedia can very well be the nexus of the midfield. He can create chances, he can even defend as well if needed. But somehow, ever since Gokulam Kerala, they have lost their momentum since that victory against Trau FC. I think Edubedia has also been slightly off color. He's been more animation and less flair instead of what it used to be previously. More flair and somewhat decent animation. I mean, we'll go by that, but at least now going by the flair, Edubedia is someone whom even you know, Bhashwar, the day he starts firing, I think he can single-handedly change the game. It looks like a change is being lined up for Aizawl FC.
Indeed, but the problem is Kim Kima, their captain, is being stretched off, and that doesn't look good at all for him. And hopefully he'll recover and be back soon. Well, it is not a problem. They do not have 4 foreigners on pitch, so they can bring in the Brazilian, Gustavo da Silva, who is ready to come on. Another solid centre-back. Well, how about that, having an option on bench? You have your captain Kim Kima there, who is injured, who is one of the most dependable, and then you have the replacement coming in the form of Brazilian, tall and strong centre-back Gustavo da Silva.
I think that is how well managed Aizawl has been. It's about man management, because if you have good man management on the bench, I think in a marathon tournament like this, in a long haul fray like this, you would obviously do better. It's about when to introduce your talents, when to bring in the right personnel, because you need to understand there's something called optimum utilization of resources, and in order for that utilization to be optimum, you have to be very careful, you have to be well aware of what exactly should be the timestamp that you can use those resources. Now in this case that was a forced substitution, because Kim Kima, once again, he's a pillar of reliability in their defense, and in order to substitute him they needed someone big. Aizawl comes on the attack, this time from the left. A lovely bit of step over after that shot came in, and Abhilash Paul denying the People's Club for the first time in an emphatic manner as he palms that stinger away.
Now once again just proves the what and gives a reason why he should be the number 1 for Gokulam. These are statements. Even though they're down by a goal, any keeper of course will concede goal. It's not just on him, it's a team game. But then the saves he makes, the decisions, the outings, and of course the techniques. And that's a giveaway. Lalrin Zuala, he's a dangerous player when he gets going. Finds Mafela, rather Piatika now finds a cross in, and Edubedia was there to stop that attack. Aboba Mino totally scuffed, gives away a corner here. And they are enjoying it, Aizawl. And pressure building on Gokulam with 1.5 minutes of regulation time remaining in first half. Aizawl want to change stats. They want to get the win against Gokulam.
And Gokulam certainly hell-bent on the fact that they will want a victory, or if not a victory, at least a point away from home, logging a point in pretty difficult conditions, not as difficult as Kashmir was. Amoya with that corner, pretty flat one, and it eludes everyone, falls outside the box, chipped inside. Abhilash Paul snatching the ball away from the head of his opposition like an eagle looks around for his prey. Sensational goalkeeping here.
Impressive, very impressive from the goalkeeper so far, but not sure how long he can sustain these kind of attacking moments from Aizawl. Now once, twice, thrice, it's fine, but then you might concede.
You were making a point about him conceding the goal, and you know, like post that the saves that he makes, that is going to be important for sure, but we'll get back to that. Here's an attack from Gokulam Kerala, lovely cross into the box. It looks like Aizawl almost gave that away, but Lady Luck smiles on them at least in this occasion, or else it could have been catastrophic here for the People's Club.
Additional time, 4 minutes.
4 minutes of additional time have been given, and I'll let you take the mic over, Pashwan.
Well, it was a good attack again, and Gokulam, they're just making Aizawl know you're not the only team on the pitch here who is looking for a win. Gokulam want it. They want it bad. The record has been terrific in the last few seasons. But this season is not pretty familiar to what we've known them doing on the pitch. Now from the right, it's Nidin on the ball. Salam Ranjan hasn't got too much to do. And there's the Brazilian, his first contribution there. Just blocks it and cleans it away. But Gokulam will steal it. And 2 red shirts closing them down. What the centre backs are doing is they're clearing their lines, but just giving it away too easily to Gokulam. And Nathan again, this time he looks for a cross, blocked by Aizawl.
Another quick throw and taken. Now getting back to the goalkeeping point that we were talking about. Yes, you know, being a goalkeeper, it's never really easy, because if you're a forward, let's say you miss an open net, that's also a very glaring howler. But then, given the fact that that doesn't cost your team, people will tend to forget that if you later go on to score a goal, your mistake is redeemed, your mistake is forgiven. But being a goalkeeper, you make a mistake. Forget a howler. I mean, forget something very serious, but let's say a mistake which is somewhat regular maybe, which was more difficult for you. You tried to save that, but it just didn't go your way, and all the blames come down on you. And that's because obviously you are the last defender of the Citadel. So, well, the responsibility on your shoulders are a lot more. But at the same time, the first and the foremost thing that a goalkeeper should understand, mistakes will happen. They will make slip-ups, they will let a few goals slip into the back of the net, but at the same time, if a goalkeeper is unable to stall a majority of the opposition, then you may end up conceding too many goals, which you definitely not want, particularly in a league format where the goal difference is of utmost importance, because we have seen champions being decided in terms of goal difference.
Well said. A very good point there, especially with those saves made by Avilash Paul. Could have been a few more coming in from Aizawl. A few saves forced and a few crosses just snatched from between before it reached the man aimed for. And that's good goalkeeping. And Gokulam will try to pull one back before half time to make it 1-1. Halfway through the additional moments, and Jose O'Hara just cushions it towards Biaktika. Aizawl will move in attack. Goal difference is an important factor. They're just trying a bit too much again. And the combination. Mafela has been so impressive in consecutive seasons. That is what players or coaches look for, consistency. And that's a good ball forward to Alex Sanchez against the Brazilian. This time he opts for a cross with no one there at the far side, but for Danmawia to clear it off.
Well, this is going to be a very intriguing contest with Gustavo Claudio inside, and he's the one who's marking Alejandro Sanchez. That's a lovely bit of setup there, looking around for a bit of crossing space. Gokulam Kerala steps inside the box again. That's another wonderful one touch, and here comes the cross. Goal scoring chance, but well headed to safety there by Aizawl. Danger's not over though. Edobedia sends it to Nili Perdomo. Nili Perdomo twists and turns, and he looks like he's all confident about what he's doing right now. And this can be another potential goal-scoring cross. Here comes the cross, and that's the equalizer. Once again, the same man, the captain of Gokulam Kerala, Alejandro Sanchez, firing in his 10th of the season, and definitely the equalizer for the Malabarians.
Well, his 10th, Gokulam's equalizer, and his lead in the goal scoring charts. A good leap, a good header, accurate in that bottom corner. And just before the break, with seconds remaining, the Gokulam are back in this, and it is half time indeed. And no more action in first half. And what a way and what a time to make that comeback for Gokulam. Aizawl will be disappointed. A momentary lapse of concentration, and Biaktika's goal cancelled out by the top scorer of the league, Alex Sanchez. It's 1-1 at half-time.
Well, a lot will change, because when you're going to half-time, we'll get back to that. Here's the stats for the first half. 57% ball possession for Aizawl, 43 for Gokulam, 5 shots, out of which 4 were on target for Aizawl. 6 shots from Gokulam Kerala, 3 of them on target. A couple of fouls for Aizawl, 4 for them for Gokulam Kerala. 2 corners for both the sides and a couple of offsides going against Aizawl FC. And quickly we would try and show you where the shots were taken from by both the teams. Both the teams had fair shares of shots. Aizawl with 5 of them. Amoya scoring 4, in fact taking 4. Biaktika with that only strike that ended up in the back of the net.
Well, the problem has been Rinzuala is silent. He hasn't got that supply. He has dropped deep. He's got involved. But 6 shots from Gokulam Kerala. 2 of them from Alex Sanchez, who found the goal. And Nilipa Termo, No Fall, Shijin and Srikuttan. All of them with 1 each. And these 3 just like to go hand in hand. No Fall, Shijin and Srikuttan with a shot each. But they need goals. They have got 1. They will look to find more. 2 fouls only from Aizawl, Chozohera and Rinzuala with the one. That's 1 contribution. Rinzuala wouldn't like to see his name on. He would want to see his name on the score sheet, especially now that the race is on. Alex Sanchez has stepped up again.
And 4 fouls here from the Malabarians. Aminu Buba with a couple of them. No foul, and Srikuttan with 1 foul each. Srikuttan had to leave the ground after he caught that injury. A 4 substitution has been made by both the sides, where Aizawl lost their skipper Kim Kima to an injury as the towering Gustavo Claudio stepped up. And for Gokulam Kerala, it was Srikuttan who made his way for Shijin T. And talking about both the sides, they have been pretty feisty. This is how it all started. An early giveaway could have been another chance for Gokulam Kerala. Unfortunately, they couldn't really find out that opening. Then a nice cross, so that summoned Abhilash Paul into action as he tipped it over, using his physique to perfection. There was another opportunity. Abhilash Paul, despite the fact the ball kind of bobbling away from him, he managed to secure it back.
Well, there were chances for both sides. Gokulam initially and then Aizawl FC. And there's how the goal came. Look at the run from behind from Biaktika. And good spot by Mafela as well. And a good finish at that bottom corner. Basics followed. You need to keep it away from the keeper. And the ball, the curl, just going away and away. There's another angle to it. Mafela just cuts back and finds the run of Biaktika to give Aizawl the lead, which is maintained for the majority of first half. But then it wasn't to be the story of the first half, because Gokulam kept fighting. This angle makes it look even more delightful for the viewers, I'm sure. But he has done the damage, and Gokulam, they kept charging.
And Gokulam Kerala, they were not gonna relinquish so easily. They had their fair bits of chance. That was another shot taken from range, took a deflection, and then Alejandro Sanchez had a wonderful opportunity. Unfortunately, was crowded over by 3 Aizawl players, which was never going to be easy. Another chance came in for the People's Club, and that was from the left. Another shot attempted, and a sensational diving save there from Abhilash Paul. Once again, meting out justice to his reputation. That was another lovely run all the way from the right. Another opportunity, but barely clawed away by Ivan Maric. But then again, that was another giveaway. Now that is another question mark that was asked. They were asking whether there was a bit of handball, but immediately the referee said that that was the thigh that kind of caught. Then came this sensational cross, and Alejandro Sanchez, living up to the dizzying expectations that are being pinned on his back, he fired home the equalizer. Well, that's all from the first half. We'll now dive into a short breather before we return with another 45 minutes of pulsating action. The scoreline at halftime is Aizawl 1, Gokulam Kerala 1.
Welcome back for second half action here in the Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, Aizawl. It is match number 64, and halfway through this story, it is Aizawl who took the lead with Biakdika's strike cancelled out just in the final seconds before half time by the top goal scorer of the league, Alex Sanchez, to make it 1-1 at the break with 45 more minutes to play. We'll have to wait and find out who can take all 3 points home. Few alterations maybe we'll see. One force change aside has happened already in the first half, but Gokulam, they look strong and motivated. They have recovered from the blows and they want to get back to winning ways, but Aizawl want to continue their unbeaten run and they want to rise to the top 3 again. And with that in mind, underway with final 45 minutes, Gokulam in green from left to right of your screens in this half, and Aizawl goes without saying in red from right to left of your screen. The two goalkeepers have done their job well, Nora Fernandez and Avilash Paul, especially the latter.
Well, we have talked a lot about the goalkeepers because obviously both the names, they are kind of very important when it comes to the texture of a game like this. And also the two sides, I think both of them, they'll need some work to be done in case of their defense. That could have been a chance. Kind of an opening, somewhat falling at the feet of Rinzuwala. The way he just received the ball, quickly twisted and turned and went for the shot. Maybe, and just maybe, if he could have had a better angle for that shot, it could have been trouble for Abhilash Paul early on in the second half. But as truth be told, that was the shot that was taken, was very emaciated. A quick look at the players on the field. Nora Fernandez obviously under the woodwork, and Dan Moia, Ivan, Gustavo, Josehera in the defense. Sahil, Tikeya and Mafela in the midfield, and manning their attacking unit is Amoya, Rinzuwala and Biakdika. Quickly having a look in the playing 11 or in the on-field 11 for Gokulam Kerala. Vilash Paul under the sticks, Shahi, Famino Buba, Salam Ranjan Singh and Nidhin in the defense. Nufa, Lerobidia, Rashad and Shijin manning the midfield, and Nelly Perdomo and Alex Sanchez, the prized attacking duo for Gokulam Kerala.
Well, those were the players on pitch as you mentioned, and they'll have to construct a few more positive moves moving up front. And Maria just took a knock there, one of the brightest of the lot. We'll see the floodlights on soon maybe. And here's Aizawl FC moving in attack. And here's that man, the top goal scorer for Aizawl. And now Mafela moving up front, looking to take the lead again. And a stop this time. And now Gokulam will look to move on the counter. No fall. Just running past the defenders. Couldn't find Alex Sanchez on that occasion. Ivan Maric does well this time. He didn't point in that goal moment in the first half, but he needed to do better when Gokulam scored. Just tracked away from the approaching Alex Sanchez. Just giving him the space for the header. It is sunset time here in the Aizawl. The lights will be on soon. But Rohit, about that goal and the defensive work.
Well, yes, as you pointed out, it's time for the sunset. It's winter, so obviously the days are going to be shorter, and particularly when you're playing out in the hills, it's just gonna get colder. So yes, the spotlights finally coming up, and it is going to be a very majestic spectacle. There's a chance for Aizawl as they try to knit those short and crisp passes between themselves. Plays it all the way back to Ivan Maric. The two foreigners on the pitch for Aizawl FC are the two defenders, Gustavo and Ivan. The question is, how do these combine? So far, except for that goal that was scored by Alejandro Sanchez, there was kind of a free header. Could have been done better by the Aizawl FC rear guard, but then they allowed the Spaniard to fire home an opening that was more of a gift offered to him. And another long ball there. Aizawl fails to connect with that, fails to keep the ball at their feet. Gokulam Kerala kind of very alert and a lot more active. But it looks like Aizawl is just trying to slow down the tempo slightly. The ball goes all the way back to Nora Fernandez. Another name that has had his ups and downs in the tournament, but of late he's been in phenomenal touch.
Well, the attack needs to show some similar dominance and brilliance. If Aizawl want points here, everybody, yes, somehow gets it back. And now Nili Perdomo has space in front of him, finds Alex Sanchez, a few appeals for offside, but he's anyway taking it wide, and he'll slow down things. Nili Perdomo is looking for the pass back, and they will win a corner off the Brazilian. And the defense is looking a bit nervy. We talked about the strength which Gustavo da Silva brings in, but the combination is an issue often when you make the changes, but I'm sure they have done that in practice. It is a corner for Gokulam.
Another chance for them to try and secure a lead, and that fell at the head of Buba Aminu. I think, yes, he was obstructed for sure, but a man of his stature, a man who's pretty tall, a man who's well built, I think he should be standing tall in the face of such corners, because you usually don't get an opportunity like that. Maybe a bit of leap as well could have helped him, but nonetheless, that's another chance that goes begging.
It is a goal kick. 5 minutes in, almost a similar way the way the first half was going on. Both teams getting their chances. Boba Minu heads it away, and Gokulam will increase the pressure. They've seen the problems in the Aizawl defense and will want to capitalize on that. Rishad playing with Herupedia, just combining with him, and now all the way back to Salam Ranjan Singh. Not too much for him to do. It's been mostly from the flanks, so the fullbacks had to do the more of defensive work, and pressure there, and somehow dealt with. And Mafela, if there's one man on the pitch you want the ball to land to and ask him to control it in a second or two, it'll be Mafela, without a hint of doubt. There's more such players on the pitch, but right now it was Mafela doing the job. And here's Joe Zohaira. Aizawl back in possession.
Here's another long ball attempted, and obviously the target man was Lalrin Zoala, but it looks like he's being contained well enough by the defensive pair of Nidhin Krishna and certainly Boba Amino. Both of them have just teamed up excellently well. The same problem that Aizawl is having right now, not the same problem, I mean the problem that they are having is the lack of chemistry between Ivan Maric and Claudio. Because again, you may bring in all the footballing flair in the world single-handedly, but when it comes to making a centre-back pair, it's very important that the chemistry between the two defenders are impeccable. That's another lovely ball, slightly overpowered there. It was Nufal who was carving that opportunity, but then he could have done better actually. I think it's all about those small touches. It was about those trinkets that define the game. Those small measured touches, crisp passes, and the next thing you know, you're knocking on the door of the opposition.
Well, indeed, and not just that, as you mentioned, the combination and pairing. Talking about centre-backs, it is of course not just about one man in the defence, because even teams who have the likes of the legendary Sergio Ramos or even the likes of Ruben Dias, all of them do concede goals because it is not a one-man game. That's what makes it more interesting as well. Stringing them together as a team, that's where the role of a coach is. You need to get these players, all these stars, be it the youth, playing together, looking like one. And that is an art really, and that is where you can see which team has a top-notch coach, a top-level coach who gets them going. Not just one day or two matches out of 10, but 10 on 10.
Well, since you talked about centre-backs, one name that certainly comes to my mind when it comes to Indian football, who's completely revolutionized the art of being a centre-back, at least in the Indian echelons, and that is of Sandesh Chingan, the rock in the India's defensive heart, and he's been brilliant throughout. But more importantly, he's had some decent support in the form of Shubhashish, who's now playing for Mohun Bagan Super Giants. Obviously, Pritam Kotal, who's shifted his allegiance to Kerala Blasters for this season. So yes, it's not that even like you talked about Ramos, of course, I'm not comparing, but when it comes to Indian centre-backs, I think the craft has improved by leaps and bounds. This can be a lovely bit of run for Aizawl, though cross was attempted, but then a very feeble attempt to try and carve open a cross, and the Gokulam Kerala defense, particularly the big man Boba Amino, stands tall. And it looks like it is going to be a free kick. Fortunate for Gokulam that it's just outside the box. A push coming in. Could have done way better than that. But I think he knew instantly. Once again, we'll try and show you. That's a long ball created. Trying to converge upon the chance, and a push there from the back from Mohammad Shahif, eventually resulting in the free kick from outside the box.
That is an interesting position from where Aizawl can test, and there's the Aizawl faithful, the people of the People's Club. The drums are out. Previously rather, when the stands in all the sides were not built yet, they would all be at one side of the pitch in one gallery, being so vocal and loud with the chants and the songs coming up, and that had played a key role in that I-League winning campaign. Even when Mohun Bagan travelled to this venue, that could have changed things. The title decided almost before the final day. It was a misty and foggy day. You couldn't even watch properly on TV screens. Out of nowhere arised a header from Sodinguliana, giving hopes to the people out here. And they enjoyed and celebrated. Went on to win the league as well, which is, of course, an open chance this season too. But right now, it is a free kick for Aizawl FC.
An opportunity, like you pointed out, very misty, foggy. So yes, it's not just the People's Club that makes things interesting. Even nature kind of chips up, kind of chimes in with the additional ambience that you need for roller coaster rides. Here's a chance for Aizawl. Can they restore their lead? Chips it into the box, in the traffic. Could have been tricky. Just eluding the head of one of the attackers there. Could very well have been the second goal if he could have connected, and could have been a stern test for Abhilash Paul as well. But as things stand, it all remains hunky-dory as it goes all the way back to Nora Fernandez, as Alejandro Sanchez once again goes for a chase, only for a long goal kick that's got the ball out of the field of play. Another throw in here for the Malabarians, and they are once again back with the possession.
They'll have a throw-in, solid from Amavia, but a good attack from Aizawl overall. It all came from that starting pass from Sheikh Sahil, which he couldn't find through. Just if we roll back a few minutes and talk about that pass, what he was looking for, he saw the centre-backs and the defence line, and there's a foul again, but they were all looking at Sheikh Sahil, who could have either squared it in or maybe played it wide, and he wanted to capitalize on that, and seeing the gap in defense, wanted to spot the runners on the far side, which wasn't, of course, executed well. And there's the replay of the challenge.
As we talk about football being a game of two things brought together, in fact 3 things brought together. First is the idea, second is the intent, and third is the execution. Now, the idea and the intent kind of constitutes 50% of the entire attack. It's the execution that constitutes the other half. That's another long ball attempted at the far left, but then very well defended by Gokulam Kerala. The strength of Gokulam Kerala's defensive unit has been that understanding, has been the communication between themselves. They are a very tightly knit defensive unit. It looks like there was a bit of push from Nili Perdomo, allowing a free kick here for Aizawl, and a bit of clip from Edobedia as well. It looks like Gokulam Kerala certainly has the ball. It's once again Alejandro Sanchez trying to make his way from the left. A bit of step over, wanted to steer it further forward, but then that was intercepted. Goes all the way to Aizawl now, as Aizawl tries to counter what has been so far a decent half of football from the visitors.
And look at that intent though, with a long ball from Mavia. I was lining up to say that there's no chance against such a tall and strong centre-back Boba Aminu, who is down at the moment. But how brave from him to go in a challenge, try and win the ball and stay on his feet. That's pure strength, as you say. And Boba Aminu is down at the moment. Not sure if he picked a knock in the landing or something. We'll have to look at that again.
And yes, you were talking about the faithfuls, the fans coming in, the people that has been powering the life and the belief in Aizawl FC for a long time. I think that is how the hill stations, the various teams that hails all the way from the highlands, the likes of Northeast FC, who's playing in Indian Super League for a while now, definitely the likes of Shillong Lajong, the likes of Aizawl, Naroka FC, Trau, they all come from the hills, and their contribution to the Indian football is absolutely priceless. But at the same time, the contribution of the fans, that was a nice attack that was being forged, but it looks like Alejandro Sanchez may have crossed the line, and he's not particularly happy about that. But then again, he's not a man who protests too much. He's a man who believes in getting himself up, chinning up and fighting back, trying to find his way back in the game, trying to find goals. And that is why he is such a menacing sharp shooter for Gokulam Kerala.
Well, indeed, and that is why he's got 10 goals in 10 games. Didn't play the previous game too. 60% possession for Aizawl, 40 for Gokulam. Here come Aizawl with Mafela. They need a goal. Salam Ranjan with that clever flick. Not sure if he should have taken the risk, but comes off well. And now Sheikh Sahil. The game getting more and more interesting with passing minutes. It is a free kick, or rather play on given. And finally they will have for the free kick. And not sure if a card will come out. Adubatia is complaining. But one threat which will lie on Aizawl FC is that bench of Gokulam. And especially one player which you mentioned in the first half too, Komron Tusunov. Once he comes on, it'll be very, very difficult. And there's the fouls, the first one, play on allowed, and then after that again.
Since you pointed out Komron Tusunov, now he's a player, he's basically a dual-faceted player. Now I'll tell you the two attributes that Tusunov brings to the game. One is certainly his speed, and the second is his ability to just sneak in into any small pocket of space. Now, the way he kind of rotates around, the way he kind of circles around in front of the box, the way he takes those runs on the far wings if he's introducing his speed, and the way he finds himself in goal-scoring position, I think he is a player who's very difficult to track down. So if someone is expecting to put on man-marking upon Tursunov once he steps up, it is going to be a very challenging affair. He is not someone who likes to take a clipping, but then again, given the fact that he brings in a lot of speed alongside him, it is going to be very, very challenging when he comes on. But with that being said, Komran Tusunov had a silent outing against Real Kashmir in the last game. His coach was expecting maybe if he could have fired against the Snow Leopards. Unfortunately, it was certainly not his day, as another player keeps on getting treated here, and Gokulam Kerala may have to bring on, again not really sure, but may have to bring on a forced substitution here. It will depend on what exactly is unfolding.
Well, the most likely candidate will be Vikas if the change is made, or maybe Abdul Hakku, both of them capable, but another forced substitution will just be a blow for Gokulam. So we all hope that Shahif can continue. We'll have to wait to find out. He's just limping a bit at the moment. And there's an update from the other game which was going on. Royal Kashmir have beaten Shillong Lechong 3-1. The second defeat for Shillong Lechong in a row, and they are struggling now, and more games will come away from home. But Aizawl FC have struggled against Gokulam in their last 3 meetings, and will that continue? There's 30 more minutes to find out. It's a free kick in favor of Aizawl.
Let's see how does Aizawl get into the game from here on. It is going to be very, very important for both these sides to log those 3 full points. If not, then certainly they will hope to try and log at least a point. I mean, none of the teams will like to go empty-handed. Nili Perdomo, he's still complaining about a handball. That's another long ball. Aizawl coming all the way from the right, looking around for a bit of space again. A bit of step overs, nicely done, and it looks like Boba Aminu standing tall, towering, casting his towering physique in the trajectory of Amoya as it goes out for a corner. Another opportunity for Aizawl to try and launch the ball into the box. Try and find an opening if they can and try and restore lead for certain. 1 hour of football has elapsed. It looks like there's a discussion that is going on between the referee and the match official.
Well, there's something they have spotted, and they want to just make sure that things are all set for the corner to be taken. And maybe some things we didn't notice, and the match referee too. And we are still waiting. It's Mavia who's waiting too. Not sure if there's a card coming out for someone. We'll wait to find an answer for that. But Aizawl, they need to take the lead before Comron to Snov is on. And that is what they will be looking for from this corner opportunity. Haven't got too many in the second half. But here, Mavia will be trying. And there's a few signals coming in from him. And the discussion from the referee, he had spotted Gustavo and Alex Sanchez for some infringement, and that is why they went down for a talker. And now Mavia with the delivery towards Rinzuala. It is off the referee, and play on allowed, and eventually called back. I'm not sure whose advantage it should have been given, but given the position where they got it, it's given to Gokulam Kerala. A bit unfortunate, but 7 shots each from Aizawl and Gokulam. 1 goal as well for both teams. Pretty much on levels, pretty much in balance this game.
Bobamino on the ball there from the left as he sends it further forward. Barely clawed away by Aizawl. Now Aizawl, every time they've come on the attack, they've looked solid. But Gokulam Kerala as well, when they have knocked on the doors, Aizawl has had their chances, in fact, challenges to be precise. It looks like Claudio was trying to find an infringement up front, had a bit of a say, and now that right wing turning out into a beehive of activities for Aizawl FC.
Well, and the reason for that is Mavia has gone to the right hand side now. He's just so lively, so on the game everywhere. Josuera, he's the captain at the moment since Kim Kima went off. They're combining with Lalrin Zuala. He's involved in play, a very, very positive young striker, but his involvement needs to be towards goal scoring. That's what Aizawl will want. Boba Minu is there, not well cleared. Vilash Paul, with all the experience, gathers it. And talking about this lad, Lalrin Zuala, Lalpiaknia, just 1 goal behind Alex Sanchez now. Was on levels before the game started, but Alex Sanchez scored. I felt this lad, he has been in the Gokulam reserves as well, and graduated from the Bengaluru FC Academy. One of the most promising young strikers in Mizoram at the moment. And the last time someone scored the highest number of goals scored by an Indian rather was probably 12, which was scored by Petyasagar. And he is already on 9 with half the season played.
Here's another chance for Aizawl, and just poor giveaway there. And once again, Bashwar, a very nice point out again. But Aizawl, the major strength of Aizawl has been the local talent that they have unearthed. And that is sensational. Nili Padomo, he may have a chance, sends it into the box. I think the better option would have been if he would have gone forward. Another lovely cross attempted, found its man. Now steers it towards the right. Another cross chipped into the box at the far post. Danger's not over, and eventually the shot goes ballooning over the woodwork as Aizawl FC breathes a sigh of reprieve.
Well, didn't connect well at all on that occasion. And Domingo Cabrera, he sees the positives of these attacks. 2 shots from no fall already. 68 minutes played with Nora Fernandez. Not tested too much, but on the previous cross there from Nili, had to be headed away by Ivan Maric. But time and again, one thing to point, the commitment. As you said, they base their game on the local lads and local talents, which has worked for them. And they have been showing more commitment. If you look at the challenges, the headers coming from the defense, generally you would expect Ivan Maric or Da Silva, and that's a giveaway. That's a steal rather. Alex Sanchez, save made, and Nili Patomo will have a go. He'll control it and blocked. Should have gone for it first time maybe. And Gokulam once again looking dangerous. third shot that from Alex Sanchez and controlled well. And just when I was talking about the commitment, about the two centre-backs, Gustavo da Silva and Ivan Maric, there has somewhere been a slight bit of difference compared to the other players in defense. The young local lads just diving in every single challenge. Doesn't matter, they do not have that much of physicality or strength comparatively, but they are trying.
Well, at the moment, the chinks are opening up in the Aizawl defense, and they'll have to be careful. There's a major void between Ivan Maric. Once again, it's a giveaway. Chance for Gokulam Kerala. If they keep on coming at this rate, it can seriously be challenging. Nili Perdomo on the ball, goes for the cross, and it still goes out. Not one, but two defenders. Somehow, Ivan Maric is not just having a good day in office today at all. Even in case of that first header, he was miles away from Alejandro Sanchez. Could have done better because he has a towering physique. A chance for the Malabarians to try and restore, or to try and get a lead for the first time in the game. Let's see if they can, but this certainly has Edobedia sniffing out something.
Well, there was a certain amount of spin on the ball. That is why Ivan Maric missed it. But talking about spin, this man has some curl. Edobedia towards the far side. Boba Minu felt a pull on his shirt. There was sure a pull, but not enough to bring the big man down. But seeing the spin on this surface, the moment the ball drops and changes directions, maybe a shot from distance, a bounce in front of the keeper, that can be an idea, which hasn't come too much. Another one, this time a right footer towards Edobedia. First time ball in, Boba Minu in the box, and Ivan Maric with the feet hasn't done too much wrong. And now Aizawl will look to counter. They have options open, and good defending by Nishad. And Gokulam continue moving forward, end to end here.
End to end with the ball slightly frequenting the other end, that is the Aizawl's end, a bit more than it is for Gokulam Kerala at the moment. That is a sensational ball. That certainly will be a free kick. Now the question is, does the card come out? It looks like it could very well have been a goal scoring chance. What is going to be the color? It's a yellow there. I think he'll be fortunate. That is Laldon Movia, who's the one who's been taken into the book. We'll try and show you what happened here.
Well, from my angle, it didn't seem much of a foul. Here we see he went and collided, but because he tried to use his arm and just stopped that attack, came across, and a correct decision just at the edge of the box, and a yellow card as well. A change coming in for Aizawl FC. It is their number 6, Casey Valpuya, coming on. We'll wait to find out whom he replaces, and it is Sheikh Sahil. So another of the local talents, talent production hub here in Aizawl. At this range, this is lethal when you have players like Nili Perdomo and Edobedia.
Well. Is there a twist? A twist on the 72nd minute? You never know. You simply never know. It looks like there's a player on the ground as well, just to ensure a brand of defending that Brozovic has introduced. Casey Valpuya slotting in for Sheikh Sahil out there in the midfield. We'll see how it, and it is Casey Valpuya himself who will like to bring out the inner, who will like to channel that inner Brozovic out into the mix. But nonetheless, let's see. And it looks like Nili Perdomo has been sent to the wall. Alejandro Sanchez say, come on, like he's sleeping down there. Is it allowed? It's definitely not allowed, but then yes, it is allowed. It's a form of defending. Modern football has a lot of tricks and trades. Here comes Edobedia, chips it and rams it straight at the wall. Could have done miles better because he has the range.
Well, that's a great cutback by Rishad, but eventually composure lost. Suddenly, when it was 7-7 in the shot stat, Gokulam chose to accelerate. It's 11 shots now from Gokulam, but thankfully the Aizawl defense is strong. And there's another player down. It's Gustavo da Silva, who was down at that moment, but he's up on his feet. Aizawl survive. It is an attack for Gokulam, is it? And that is what Nili Perdomo is trying to say. He wants the attack to come faster, or rather get on with the play faster, because it is an Aizawl throw, Joe Sohera. But Edobedia's free kick, he has the quality to just bend it up and over the wall and bring it down with a curl as well. Didn't do enough, I would say. Just straight on the wall from that distance. And we expect better from Edubedia, but Boba Amino, he's been doing his job well. Salam Ranjan. Gokulam just stepping up that back line, maintaining a high one at the moment. No fall.
Well, I feel, given the fact that Gokulam has just hit the accelerator, and with the kind of attacks that they have knitted, maybe it is going to be slightly risky, a bit audacious as well, if Domingo Cabrera may try and switch. That is, if he can take out Edubedia and bring in Comron Tursunov. Now, Edubedia has this flair of dropping back and assisting the defenders as well, because at times he can play that low-lying central not exactly central defender, but a kind of a CDM role that he slots himself well in, which is kind of lacking from Comron Tursunov. But the kind of high-octane football, the kind of high-line football that Gokulam Kerala is playing right now. Pashwat, do you think, I mean, that can certainly be a very wise change?
Well, that can be, but at the same time, if you take him off, you will see one more player coming on. It will be either of Abhijit or Basit Ahmed Bhatt to slot in that midfield. But in that case, either no fall or maybe Nili Perdomo will be sacrificed. But we'll wait to find it at the moment. Alex Sanchez still finds a pass. Gokulam in attack. No fall. Nili Perdomo. And now Alex Sanchez, he was offside, just tracking back. He's frustrated, but he needs to make sure he doesn't do over with that reaction.
Well, he hasn't. He just picked up the ball, dropped it, bounced it, and then instantly believed in the fact that life should go on. Yes, he was offside. He was offside, not exactly by a mile or so, but certainly away from that final line of defenders. Here's another goal kick sent downtown here, and it looks like Aizawl's major enemy right now has been giving the ball away very cheaply. I think they need to take care of that. Too many missed passes. Nili Perdomo on the ball, and Nili now trying to cut back in sharply. He's caught in the midst of too many Aizawl players. Can a cross come in from the right? No foul, and he's just overpowered his cross as it goes out for another goal kick.
Well, wayward cross eventually went out before even coming in, and it will be a goal kick. Aizawl will believe they can grind out a point from here, or at least another goal will help their cause. But Gokulam, they were playing very similarly and striked at the very last minute of first half. Hence, the threat will be there. The game is very open, and any outcome is possible.
Yeah, the threat will certainly be there, because when you're up against a high-octane side like Gokulam, it never really disappears. No foul now coming in from the right, trying to cut back in. He was 1v4 in that instance. And now here's a gentle flick towards that far post, and received finally. Looks like he will need some help, he will need some assistance. Assistance coming in slowly. There comes the cross, but very well defended by Claudio as the ball falls back for Gokulam Kerala. Another attempt made to try and capture the ball onto that far right, but it looks like Aizawl certainly had got their bases covered.
Mavia trying to get his base covered there, just shielding it still. No foul spotted. Nidin doing enough. It is a throw in for Aizawl FC. And the lights are on, and it is evening here in Aizawl. A pretty different timing and schedule for the people here, especially the time the sun sets and the lifestyles as well. Generally a very early one. They wake up early and go to bed early. Very disciplined lifestyle, of course. Maybe that plays a part as well, you never know. But Aizawl right now, they need a goal from somewhere. Amavia, that's a giveaway. Everyone down deep, and look who is down there to clear. Rinzuwala, but just to give it back. And they need more. They need more efforts, and they need more possession, and they need more attacks. There's nothing in attack. Look at Boba Amino near the center line there. Both of the center backs that high a line, and that shows the confidence as well from Gokulam Kerala. Here they come again. And now Edubedia. Oh, too casual.
I think there's one tactical thing that has happened ever since Kim Kima has gone out. So the defensive solidity that Kim Kima provides, now he's not just a defender, he's not just a centre back. He connects that midfield and the defense extremely well. He's the bridge. Now, ever since he's gone out, well, Claudio has certainly carried his defensive duties very well. But then at times for a team like Aizawl that relies a lot on running, relies a lot on those short and crisp passes coming from the back, I think that supply line has been very much impacted. And ever since Kim Kima went on, that is when they went on to concede that goal as well. And post that, in the second half, they have looked a lot more lackluster. Despite box-to-box action, they have mainly been at the receiving end of some incessant attacking from the visitors.
And here's one more of those attacks, and no foul running inside. Just takes it wide again, and he's got a touch on the ball this time. No foul. And Edu Batia wins it back just for seconds that it goes off. Edu Batia trying to bring a bit of tricks out of his bag, but it is a throw in. Here's Edu Batia again. And this time he'll whip it in. And as you say, the defensive solidity is there, but what is missing is the leadership from Kim Kima to sum it up. And not just that, that is why Kim Kima is so important a part of this team. We'll hope that he's alright, just off for today's game, and we'll be back soon and leading this Aizawl side. And the problem, according to me, many would complain about players, this and that. I would say the strategy needs to be better from Aizawl. It's just almost as if you're sitting and soaking in pressure and trying to hit back. And there's one of the changes I talked about. Abhijit is coming on, and probably that's one sign that Comron might be on soon, might not be as well.
Since you said on soon, just to give you all a reminder, 10 minutes of regulation time remaining. Now, again, knowing Comron Tusunov, he is definitely an asset to any team. We'll again show you what happened here. No foul with it. Wonderful cut in there. Well. Initially from that angle, didn't really look like a foul, but now that we have a closer look at it, Ivan Maric certainly had a very substantial touch. Well, Domingo Cabrera, he's trying to have a word, and it looks like another change will happen, but we'll have a bit of hold up there. And it looks like it is going to be Nufa who will be taken off, because he looks to be hobbling at the moment. Nonetheless, it's a goal kick here in favor of Aizawl FC. Nora Fernandez, well, despite Gokulam Kerala coming, looking for the goals in the second half pretty frequently, Nora hasn't been tested that much. And it's going to be a free kick now in favor of the People's Club. A chance for them to try and crack open a goal-scoring opportunity, or for them to try and crack open a goal-scoring opportunity.
Well, this free kick will surely be a chance here. We'll have to see what they do with it, but the favorite one to take it is Amavia. No question marks about that, at least. And he's been their favorite free kick taker, has been converting the chances, but today that has been missing. And time is running off, as you said. When will Comron come on if he does? But Amavia is on. He's on the set piece. Can Aizawl find the lead? And Boba Aminu's addition once again proves crucial. And that just shows, Rohit, that much depends, especially in Indian football, I would say, how you select your lineup. The better players are on the pitch, the better experience on the pitch, and you'll find points. And that is what they're doing at the moment. That's a slip, and Gokulam have it back.
This can be a chance here for Gokulam, and it looks like a bit of desperation coming in from Aizawl FC. Eventually, that worked out in their favor because they were able to do the clearance. Nili Perdomo, he's dropped down pretty deep this time, trying to find another known face. Another long ball sent into the opposition half, and for a moment it felt like Nora Fernandez may have overstepped, but then once again he was well within control.
Well, I think the substitution which was delayed, it is because they have one break left, I believe, for the change, and Comron has to come on during the same break, is it?
Not exactly sure. We'll definitely try and tell you what exactly is the scenario right now. So maybe and just maybe, because Domingo Cabrera, who was very actively involved in delaying the substitution, and this can be a decent chance for Gokulam Kerala, kept the ball well in play. Decent blocking and a quick throw in taken here. Here's a chance for Gokulam once again, trying to use that right wing. I mean, both the wings have been pretty fine for both the sides, and I think that has been the life source of all their energy. That's a lovely bit of run. Well set up. Nili Perdomo, he can go for that cross. Sensational defending from the home team. They will not take anything going against them.
Well, it is two changes coming on the same break. That is it, because Edubedia probably will be one of those changes, and no fall, the other no fall going off, and in comes Abhijit. It is Nili Perdomo who has gone off to be replaced by Komron Tusunov, and now one number 7 throughout the 84 minutes. He tried, he created the most chances for Aizawl. Mavia hasn't got a goal, but the other number 7 is now on for a show. It is a corner for Gokulam Kerala. It is Edubedia who will take it. He likes delivering quality in the box, and that's missed by everyone, and a foul spotted as well probably. And a confirmation of the changes for you once again. It's Abhijit K who is on for no fall, and it is Komron Tusunov who is on for Nili Perdomo.
Two towering players in the lineup, Ivan Maric and Boba Amino, were entangled in a tackle there. Here's a goal kick that's going to happen for Aizawl FC. Nora Fernandez certainly is still to be tested properly, like the way Abhilash Paul has been tested, and he's walked out of the fire absolutely unscathed. Here's a chance for Gokulam, though Aizawl FC does well in defending. The ball's back at the feet of the Malabarians, and a long ball attempted, and that has been intercepted, and it looks like there's been a wonderful bit of snatch for Gokulam Kerala as they come all the way from the right looking for a bit of space. It was Shijanti a few moments ago. Eventually the shot comes crashing against another defender, another long ball, another forward ball attempted in fact, and after constant obstacles gracing the paths of Aizawl FC, it looks like Gokulam Kerala has things under control.
One thing for sure, Rohit, we are lining up for late drama in this game. And here come Aizawl, controlled in the midfield by Valpuya. Tried to switch to the left, and that's a mistake from the defender who still stayed down. Amavia has the quality, and now at the far side, scuffed by Biaktika. What a chance for Aizawl, a sudden break. Rinzuala was there, Biaktika was there, but the chance goes begging, and a double switch for Aizawl FC.
Substitution
Could have been the match-defining moment. A very critical error, going all out for that defensive move. In fact, it was not one, but two players from Aizawl lined up for that shot. For one, the ball eluded him by whiskers. For the one that the ball fell, he ballooned that shot. Could have done way better, but I think he got underneath the ball. Here's a Gokulam Kerala player who will need a substitution. He's taken a blow there. The question is, I reckon they've gotten 4 changes already. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. At the moment, though, things are all square and fair here at Rajiv Gandhi Stadium. Both the teams have scored a goal apiece. It was Lalbiak Dika who drew first blood for Aizawl FC, and then Alejandro Sanchez restoring parity. Brilliant work done. Now both the team managers will certainly have a closer look.
Oh, well, the two changes that have come on for Aizawl FC. One of them is Joseph Lalvanima and Roming Tanga Polte. So both of them attacking changes we have seen in previous years or even previous matches, that late substitutions for Aizawl FC have turned around games for them. But this doesn't look good, and that is the reason the defenders stayed down and they want a change. That's the signal from the physio immediately. But what an attack which went begging. And hopefully he'll be alright too. It is Nidin who's going on, and Vikas will have to come on. Another forced substitution few of them in today's match. But 2 changes. Centamil is also ready because this is their last substitution break. And Centamil will also come on the pitch. He has the attacking and goal scoring prowess. And he replaces Alex Sanchez. It's late in the game. They're taking a gamble here. And along with him, Vikas has come on. 1 minute remaining in regulation time, and a few more will be added on. Can any of the sides find the back of the net to give them 3 points is what we'll wait to find.
Kamran Tosunov on the ball, and straight away his contribution can be crucial, but then the cross that was attempted, that really didn't find its man. Even though the Malabarians, they at the moment, they want more goals for them, they want a victory. And what a victory will it be, arriving in the heart of the opposition home and snatching away 3 points. But at the moment it is Gokulam Kerala who will take their range, and what a fine save from Nora Fernandez. Finally summoned into action after a long time, and coming out in blazing colours there, denying a late goal from Gokulam Kerala. Crucial bit of effort. It's going to be Kamran Tosunov to whip that into the mix. Can he find? That's corner number 7 for Gokulam Kerala. Here's a chance, but well defended by Aizawl. The ball's fallen back for the Tajikistan player. Let's see, another cross floated into the mix, and Gonzalez does well to prove equal to the task.
Oh, and now Aizawl in the counter. It is the substitutes getting involved. Amavi up front. And there's Rominga as well. Oh, just couldn't control it. And he has replaced Lalvin Zuala. So no goals for Lalvin Zuala today. But Aizawl will take it open-handedly if Rominga can score. Or maybe even Joseph. We are into additional time. Kamran Tosunov likes to shoot from distance. This time his effort is blocked. And open, still open, this game of football. We're still waiting for confirmation of how much has been added on. Popa Aminu to Salam Ranjan. Gokulam very interested. They like to score in additional time. And they have height in the box. And now they have the flair of Kamran Tosunov. Salam Ranjan is looking for the best of options. Finds Erubadia. Oh, excellent flick there. And a good challenge, but he avoids it. Rishad. And now he switches it to the left. Now from the right. Shijin's cross just over, and Kamran wouldn't be able to keep it in.
I think one thing that kind of beats me about the Kamran Tosunov change, and whatever confirmation we are getting from the ground, it looks like 6 minutes have been added on, but obviously we'll try and show you the official confirmation of the same. And yes, getting back to the change of Kamran Tosunov, I believe maybe and just maybe Domingo Cabrera has been slightly late, maybe 10 minutes late, because Kamran Tosunov, he takes a bit of time, let's say around, yes, that's the official confirmation, 6 minutes of added time, but I think more will be added to that, because Nora Fernandez is down, so he will need treatment, and as per the rules of FIFA in fact, if your goalkeeper is down on the field, until the time he's conscious, of course, you will have to treat him on the pitch itself. So yes, Nora Fernandez will steal a few crucial seconds away. And yes, going by what Kamran Tosunov substitution, I think he's a player who's definitely an enigma. He's a player who can be sensational if he gets going. But again, he need a few minutes to get his eyes in, to get acclimatized to the type of play that is going on. So I think maybe and just maybe if Domingo Cabrera could have introduced him around the 70 or the 72nd or 3rd minute mark, it would have been fabulous. And the crowd slowly flocking in now to watch this game. Obviously we all know that everyone here, I think, I won't say everyone, but certainly 90% of the people, they kind of live their life for football.
Well, they just love their football. Josuera with the throw. I'm not sure whom he was looking for. And now Josuera against Centamil, who is strong. And he wins a free kick. And I'm not sure if that's a spot-on decision, but so far, today's match referee, Kinson for Lingdo, he has been doing good job with those free kicks and fouls spotted. Let's look at that again. I got nothing on the ball indeed. And Centamil does well to win a free kick. It'll be Komron Tursunov in the last minutes again. Will Gokulam repeat drama, and will they continue their winning streak against Aizawl? Is to see this free kick. And there's some issues to talk about in the box. Komron is waiting.
I think he's just waiting for affairs to calm down, and before the referee gives the whistle, he's just quickly measuring his options. There comes that free kick. What a free kick that could have been. The chance still remains for Gokulam Kerala, and eventually it's going to be a free kick here. I think he'll take one for the team for certain, but what an absolute blinder was taken, unloaded by Komron Tursunov.
Well, that is some good commitment eventually from Gustavo da Silva, running away from the defender. That's a clean elbow on the face, just stopping that attack. As you say, it takes one for the team. Will be a yellow card for sure. But the counter is stopped. These are things which you need to learn as professional footballers, which is not taught to you by anyone, but you just know the presence of mind, where and when to make those challenges. And this stopping this attack might well have saved them from conceding a late goal, and they still have a 1 point to protect. And Nora Fernandez will play it long, and to Aizawl have a chance. Boba Minu, he missed it. Now Vilash Paul. He has been silent because he hasn't been tested too much in the second half, but if the scoreline remains this way, we have to give credits to that man on goal.
Well, both the goalkeepers, both the team's defenders, I think they've done a decent job, particularly Aizawl in the second half. They have kept things really tight. They have not allowed the opposition to break free or to run away with this fixture. Final few seconds of the game remaining. Maybe 1 more minute will be added on because Nora Fernandez had a bit of treatment. And here's Aizawl, excellent defending there. At the moment, Gokulam Kerala, they are relentless, and a bit of drama as well. And a quick word of acknowledgement. Amoya will get back on his feet, but you never know. Just Aizawl, given the fact that they are going to have the last roll of the dice, can try and unload one closer towards the goal. He was asking for a free kick. The cross comes in. They goes for that acrobatic, but he was certainly not in the position to latch onto it and then eventually power it home.
And now Gokulam, they are interested in the counter. They have plenty of green shots up front. Edubadia releases the substitute who cuts back. Should have this time been a bit selfish and gone for goal. In this stage of the game, you need to be a bit selfish, and you should test the keeper. Everyone is nervous, everyone is on their toes, and well, the wrong decision again, but quick counter from Gokulam comes to an end. A few more seconds will be allowed because of the injuries and stoppages. Amavia still complaining and having a chat with Vikas for those two appeals where he thought it was a foul. There was a certain high boot and start showing, but he won the ball, hence didn't get the advantage. Gokulam continue attacking. Komron Tursunov.
Here's a chance. Here's the last chance, in fact, for Gokulam Kerala, and it looks like they are going away from it. I think they'll have to do whatever they do. They'll have to rush if they are not settling for a point. One last throw of the dice, maybe a long ball into the box. That's the idea. Here it comes. Komron Tursunov was waiting at the far end, but it looks like Aizawl had their bases covered. A bit of push, a bit of shove, and the ball's fallen back at the feet of the visitors once again as they come knocking on the doors from the right. That's a wonderful cut in there. This can be a chance. Here's a long ranger, in fact, but that was very emaciated, and that was certainly not going to trouble for Nora Fernandez, who's been brilliant under the sticks as well.
Well, and that surely should be the game. And as things stand, and this is just getting more and more interesting in the I-League. We'll wait a second more for the final whistle. Maybe the last kick of the game from Nora Fernandez into the 9th minute of additional time. And Nora Fernandez plays it long. And there's been too many stoppages, thinks the match official. And hence Aizawl will get a chance to move up again. Rominga controlling it. He has options to the right. Gets it back. And solid defending by Salam Ranjan Singh. That's the experience he has And now moving forward again. Oh, attacks continue. There's still time for Gokulam. And Komron Tusunov on the ball. I'm sure this should be the last attack of the game. The referee had a look at his watch. There's Abhijit being a bit lenient in favor of both the sides, thankfully, and not just one side. Then it would have been an issue and complaints would have come. Here's the whistle ready. He's just waiting to see which direction the attack goes. And I'm sure he wouldn't wait much if the cross isn't delivered, which comes in the box. And Senthimil didn't get a touch. And that is it. 1 point each, 1 goal each. The sheer stakes in Aizawl, and this makes the league table more and more interesting. Aizawl FC 1, Gokulam Kerala FC 1 at full time. The travelling side will take it. But now that on the other match, Real Kashmir have got a win. Shillong Lechong defeated. Aizawl get a draw. The top 4 and 5 teams are just separated by 2 and 3 points respectively. This is very, very tough. And I-League, the most competitive for a reason.
Well, there's another team that will certainly be smiling at the result of this, and that is Mohammedan Sporting, right at the top. They have a game in hand, and if they can win that, they'll have a 6 points cushion with the team in hot pursuit of them, that is Trinity Deccan. But other than that, I think the top, like you mentioned, from 2nd to 5th. We'll get back to the discussion. Here's the stats. 51% ball possession for Aizawl, 49 for Gokulam Kerala, 8 shots, out of which 4 on target for Aizawl, 16 shots from Gokulam Kerala, 6 of them on target, 5 fouls by Aizawl, 12 of them for Gokulam Kerala. Just that 1 yellow card shown in the match, 3 corners for Aizawl and 7 of them for Gokulam. When it comes to offsides, a couple of offsides where both the teams got trapped. We'll now try and show you the shots. 8 shots coming in from Aizawl. Amoya himself with 4 of them. Biakdika with 3, which included that all-important finish. And Rinzuwala with that 1 shot. But that didn't really bear the fruits he was expecting. Gokulam Kerala, though, they unloaded a barrel of shots. 16 of them. 3 of them coming from Alex Sanchez, Nili Perdomo, Nufal and Shijin with a couple of them. And Boba Aminu and Ed Obedia trying their luck from range just once.
Well, you talked about that goal from Biaktika. Late in the game, he missed a very, very important chance. It is tough, but should have been the lead for Aizawl. 5 fouls from Aizawl FC. George O'Hara, Rinzuwala now with 2 of them. And we'll see the fouls from Gokulam Kerala too. They've battled hard away from home. Finding a point is difficult. 12 fouls. Boba Aminu with 4 of them. No foul with 3. And Nidin Nilipertomo, Shahif and Shijin with 1 each. There has been a few injuries, not because of challenges, but due to cramps and pulls of muscles, which is not really good to see. But then hope the players injured, the likes of Kim Kima and then Shahif as well, I believe, and Nidin. We all hope they recover soon and are back on pitch in service for the respective sides. We'll now have a look at the highlights of the game.
It was certainly an intriguing and an impressive day of football by both the sides, as Gokulam Kerala arrived in Aizawl to take on the home side. It was Gokulam who got us underway from the left to the right. This was a lovely chance for Aizawl to try and unload a decent effort. Nicely chipped, but it eluded everyone in the process. Could very well have been that opening goal that they were looking forward to. This was another lovely chance for Gokulam Kerala. The way Alejandro Sanchez came knocking on the doors. Sensational bit of save there coming in from Nora Fernandez. Another chance falling for Nili Perdomo. But before he could unload the shot, he already had his space crowded over. And this was the second half actually. This was that free kick that was being asked for, but it was not given. Well, definitely the first half had a couple of goals. In fact, both the goals happened in the first half. And then Aizawl kept on knocking on the doors on isolated bursts. It was a brilliant chance. An absolute sensational opportunity to try and poke the ball into the back of the net, but it went begging. And then Gokulam Kerala kept on coming at the opposition. And still, this was that last free kick by Komron Tusunov, a sensational one again. A blinding effort, the goalkeeper barely keeping that away. And while trying to take the rebound, he was being muscled out of possession. And that is how things came to a halt, as both the teams shared the spoils of a full-blown battle. And that will be all from both of us, Rohit and Bhashwar, who will be signing off now. But do not forget to watch the rest of the matches. I-League 2023-24 has already turned into a blockbuster. Thank you for joining, everyone. Just before we leave, the final score: Aizawl FC 1, Gokulam Kerala 1. Everyone, take care, be happy.